All right, let's go ahead and talk about the artist way. I've been kind of out of it. I've been doing a lot of business stuff. I've kind of been in my head. I've been dealing with some mania, diving into darkness. You know how it goes, doing shadow work and a few other things. But let's go ahead and touch base on some of the stuff that's been going on. All right, so now in the artist way, let's talk about week 5. Right, week 5 was really about me being self-destructive and not acknowledging the things that I want. And because I'm not being honest with myself, I'm inevitably going to be self-destructive because I'm not aligned. I'm not aligned with my goals. I'm not being truthful with myself. And because of that, there's like an inner conflict with, the subconscious and the conscious mind being like, well, you're not being honest with yourself. You want to do all these things, so, get out of your way. Stop being so critical of yourself, which leads me to week 6, right? Which was a recovering sense of abundance, right? Because when I was young, there was all these things I wanted. I wanted all these things. Like, oh, if I only had this, if I only had a microphone, if I only had a camera, if I only had that. Well, I have a camera, I have a microphone, I have a lot of things now. So what's stopping me from creating, right? And then what I'm realizing is that I don't need all of these things. That I am myself abundant. There are plenty of ways that I could have done this, right? Plenty of other alternative ways. Everyone has a phone. You can just use your phone now, right? But I had to reconnect with the sense of abundance that I have more than enough. That I need to stop looking outwardly to get more things because things are a distraction. I need to recover, get back to source, get back to base. So takes me into this is going to be in a lot of the weeks combined because I'm kind of behind. But we're going to week 7, which is recovering a sense of connection, right? And it's like as a child, we wanted so many things. I wanted all these tools to make things, right? And then in this week, I'm realizing, well, last week I found out I'm abundant. I have these things. So this week 7, I was basically connecting to the whole remembering why I wanted to do it so badly, right? Before all the equipment, before all of the material things, why did I want to do it? What was that yearning? I had to reconnect with that. And then we're going to go to week 8. And that was just recovering my sense of strength. I remember, scroll down a bit. Oh, yeah, this one, sense of strength. So this week 7 was more about all right, so week 7 was about the conditioning and programming I got as a child. I remember when I was in like first, second, third grade, I did a lot of artsy things for fairs and all that stuff, but teachers always thought that I was like super creative, always pushed me towards that. In high school, I just didn't get good grades, so they put me in like wood shop and metalworking and stuff like that, which honestly, those were the most useful. In fact, even before that, in middle school, I was such a trouble student, they put me in home ec, which is why I know how to use a sewing machine. I know how to sew. I know how to cut out patterns. I know how to cook. I know how to bake because of that class. It's kind of funny how the courses for trouble students were the most effective in my life. But it really just went to remembering the things that I was taught, why I don't value my work and why I'm so critical is because that's the experience I got when I was young from my peers. And now looking back at it, it's it was jealousy. They were just upset that they couldn't do what, I mean, that's what you do, right? When someone else does something that you can and you want to do, instead of work, there's two ways to go about it. You either work hard and achieve it, be like, I'm gonna be just like this person, he's like a man like me, or you completely discredit them and then make yourself feel better about it, right? So a lot of the things, like, I got awards. I remember getting awards at, like, those children art fairs and whatnot. And then my parents just, like, basically not giving a shit. And it's kind of things like that where it just eats at me right before I release something. It's like, oh, maybe that's the thing that's eating at me. So yeah, I've been writing all my morning pages this week. Like I said, in 5, 6, 7, I kind of skipped a few days. I kind of went into mania, into some darkness, trying to find these answers. But it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. And I realized that a lot of these pressures and all these things that bog me down is, in a sense, is a gift. But in having that gift, I need to be able to know when to use it. A king that spends all this time conquering kingdom, I forget the saying. I'll put it up there. But it basically means that someone that works all the time dies without, you know, acknowledging their treasures or what. So constantly in my head for criticizing myself, putting the flame to myself, telling myself I'm not good enough. There was a period for that. There was a time for that. Absolutely, I agree. I don't think that there isn't. In fact, that's why I think I'm a pretty good editor for not having gone to school for it. I'm pretty good at production. I'm pretty good at even art. There was an artist that reached out to me and said that my art's pretty good. And he said it's always the people that never get any form of training that take an interest to it that become really, really good artists. And that just hit me and made me think, right? Because another person I know, he posted his editor showing some workflow hack. And I did not see it as a hack because the thing they posted, first of all, you could have made a shortcut. Right? You could have made a shortcut for that. You could have reduced that from a 4 action thing to less action. And you could have used hotkeys. Right. But then this person genuinely felt like this was a life-changing editing hack. And I look at it and say, I could have done that with a couple clicks of a button. Or honestly, if I was going to edit something that he was doing, I would have a completely different workflow. But they don't see that. And this person had the confidence to think, this is huge. People are going to appreciate it. But then that's what I'm saying. Like the pressure I put on myself that allowed me to survive the crucible. Right? That is why I'm better. Not like better, but I know that the software better because I put that much pressure on myself. Now, when I'm releasing and creating, I need to learn to turn that off because there's no comparison in making the art, right? There is comparison in the workflow. Absolutely. Absolutely. But in the end result, like, alleviate anything. But at the same time, an artist, I guess this is more a technical thing. This is more of a solving an equation. I guess the video editing part isn't really art, right? It's more of a process. Okay, it's more of an engineering. It's more of solving an equation. What is the most effective way, efficient way to solve this equation? And so when I saw it, I was just like, why would you post this? Why would you post this? Like, any editor, this is in my head too. This is my head. Any editor's going to see this and think, wow, this guy sucks. Right? And that's just me. And that's the way I look at my shit too, which is crazy, right? Where I just look at myself like, dude, someone else gonna look at this and think your shit sucks. They're gonna know it's not good. And I'm always looking at the people that are like at the very top of their game, of whatever industry they are. Like, whether I'm talking about like people like ill-minded or like sound designers or Hans Zimmer. It's like I'm always, the flame for me is always there. So that criticism, I need to alleviate that. That's the funniest part. It's because I like it's one of those things. Like even when I train jujitsu, if I fuck up, I just picture Jeff Glover, my friend Jeff Glover, in the corner of the room, just sitting there and just so disappointed in me that I work harder. That I work harder. It's weird. It's like but then I have all of these high level role models, right? That I'm aspiring to be, and I need to realize that I need to give myself some breathing room because I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? I need to give myself some time to just create and release that stuff. No one's looking at me as if I'm Christopher Nolan or like I'm the only one that's in my head about that shit. So yeah, learn to get out of my way. It's been pretty good, but my YouTube channel is going to be producing a lot more whatever's real. All the virtual stuff, I decided I'm going to do cooking. I'm going to do some reactions. I'm going to do, covering some topics, me doing art maybe. I'm just going to post some videos on my YouTube channel because the whole subscriber model is kind of dying away anyways. Like, I don't even go to my subscriber tab anymore. I just go to home and I refresh and I look up topics. And then the algorithm does a great job of just giving me content. So I think in order to grow subscribers, I need to stay in one category, which I don't need to stay in one category because I think that's the way of the past. I'm going to switch gears, but I'm going to post a lot of more real stuff, just random thoughts and more creative cinema stuff here. And then I'm going to have a gaming channel, because every now and then I'll just procrastinate and play game. And I'm just going to post some game stuff. I might not even post it there. I might do something else entirely. But for the most part, let's cut all that stuff out. For the most part, this channel is mostly going to be videos that I make with my footage and things that go on in my mind. I'm going to do some reactions as well. Just because people seem to like it, I'm just not going to dive too deep into some things because that's what's going to get me in trouble, Do people need to know about, alternative cancer remedies and things that past doctors and scientists have discovered? No, they don't. And they don't enjoy it either. So, yeah, when that time comes, that time will come. But for now, the time is not for that. Time is for just creating fun stuff. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. That's my recap. Sorry for being so blah 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 and talkative, but I'm waiting for my car smog appointment.